Computer running slow? Has your machine somehow acquired a life of its own? Or do you simply desire a deeper and more meaningful connection? Be one with your operating system. It's Arizona's computer guru, Mike Swanson, and his show starts now. Listen in, chat in, and watch live streaming at gurushow.com. Want your voice to be heard? Call in with your questions and riddles. The number is 520-790-2040. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030, KVOI, The Voice.
Hello and welcome to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. I was thinking about three things all at once.
Did you forget your name for a second there?
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
My name's Mike.
Mike the Guru. Actually used to be on my email address.
You're like recalibrating your secret identity for a second there?
That's right.
What do these people think my name is?
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to be Mike right now. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. This is your free hour of tech support for the weekend. So if you have any technology questions and you need some help, 790-2040 is the number to call. 520-790-2040.
Mike will answer them, and I will probably make a wisecrack.
Yes, Rob will make wisecracks. Tara will relate somehow.
That's my job. I just sit
You're
here
very
and
relatable,
relate.
Tara.
I'd like to think so.
And then Kent will be over there trying to hit buttons that don't work, as usual.
Taking his microphone
Because you
apart.
can't hear him.
Hey, if the buttons work, I'm good.
Hey, did you fix the button?
No.
No, you still have to hit it.
No. Work order.
Work order.
He's like, it's not my job to fix the button. You got to
That's
call
right.
the button fixer.
Facilities work order.
My job is button pusher, not button fixer.
Correct.
There you go. And we have a lovely strobe light going on through the entire show. It appears to be
So annoying.
little amber light.
Amber alert.
I hope they find it.
Hope they find the light.
The car.
The
The
switch?
car.
The car with the kid.
So, if there's a kid involved, because I was about to say, are amber alerts for
Amber
stolen
alert.
cars?
No, it's for kids.
That's what's in them.
What's in them?
Yes.
Where's it at?
I don't know where it is, but I
Yavapai
saw
County.
Yavapai County.
That's all I
Okay.
got when I
Yeah, on the way
headed
here.
down there.
It's a cream color Camry.
Yep.
Okay. Well, if you see a cream color Camry in Yavapai County,
Be on the lookout.
turn that strobe light off for us. That'll be awesome.
Wow.
Well, we want the kid to be found, really.
That's like a guy that's watching a news report on like a tornado, and he's like, "Man, I'm missing my show."
It's good kite flying weather, though, if there's a tornado out.
No, it's not. It's bad kite flying weather, if that's the case. Okay. So what do we got in the notes over here?
A lot of stuff.
There is a couple
A
of
lot
things.
of cool things today.
All right, Intel cuts
Yeah.
the Atom chips,
I was wanting to talk about that one.
which is great because the Atom processor was terrible.
Yeah, wasn't it originally created for netbooks?
Yeah, it's created for tablets, phones, and netbooks. They were trying to really get into that
I
market.
kind of felt bad for netbooks. They never really got their chance.
I think it's one of those things where it's like nobody needs that particular thing.
Well, relating to this, I was just telling Tara before the show started, I read another story saying that tablet sales are down like 17% in the last year.
Market saturation.
Yeah, they're basically saying that if you're going to get a tablet, you have one by now.
Right. And that's true, right? That's why the new iPads, like the iPad Pro,
Yeah.
is all it is better processor. It's the same thing.
I actually
One of them's a bigger screen.
I got rid of my tablet recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I realized I just didn't, I never used it. I didn't need it anymore.
Why didn't you tell me? Mine's
Oh,
still sitting broken on
It
my
was
desk.
terrible. You wouldn't have wanted it. It was like an original model Nexus 7.
That's what mine was that blew up.
Well, then you don't want it. It's terrible.
Yep.
It was good until the screen.
I got one of those
crazy.
free tablets from Verizon,
Oh, yeah.
because I upgraded my daughter's phone, and they're like, you get a free tablet for this. And I'm like, okay.
Tablets can't be doing that well if they're just giving them away now.
It is
We're so crazy. We're giving them away.
It is so terrible. It is like, it's so slow that I can't use it for anything. But it is technically a tablet, right? It counts. It
It matters.
meets all the criteria to be defined as a tablet, but it is so slow. I can't even type on it. It's so slow.
I saw a device recently that I can't remember the name of it. It's some startup thing right now. But if it works, I will have no more need for any other device. It's a laptop shell that you put your phone into, and then it's a screen that extends your phone and then a keyboard that connects to it.
Nice.
So that'll fill my Chromebook niche and my phone niche. I won't need anything.
There you
I
go.
think that in order to have a tablet It should have enough horsepower that it can keep up with somebody that can type 50 words a minute with their thumbs.
I can't do that.
Yeah,
Teenagers
I can
can.
I can type really well, and tablet can't keep up.
Teenagers these days, like Mike here.
My cousin knows how to type in his pocket. Not even looking at the screen.
He learned that in school.
Yeah, he did.
That's a little creepy.
I can't do that. I'm still having problems like getting the right button to click. I wanted the
Does that
not
mean
the
that
U.
it has to be? Is it on a physical buttons or on screen
no,
buttons?
on screen buttons.
And he can account for screen rotation?
I guess. I don't know.
It's impressive.
That is impressive.
I just know he can type really fast in his pocket.
You
from
whippersnappers
wherever.
and your touchscreens.
I'm not the whippersnapper.
I
He
need
is.
I need my physical keyboard.
Yeah.
Well, Intel is going to have no part of any of it. So.
All right, Intel's out of the market.
Rage
They want
quitting.
products that deliver higher returns.
Well, Intel just recently announced that they're going to be laying off like 12,000 people as a
Yeah.
result of that. I wonder if
Yeah.
that's going to affect the Intel plant in Phoenix.
I doubt it because they don't do atoms there. As far as
Well, I
know.
mean, maybe they'll be like redistributing. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with this. AMD announced a couple of months ago that they were going to try to compete with Intel again.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, honestly.
It's a sad thing. It's like a lot of the radio listener demographic. They also hear these commercials for like vision computers. And it's like I walk into a customer's business or their house and I look at their computer and it has that vision sticker on it. And I'm like, oh, you have a slow computer. And it's sad, right? And I'm sure there were choices. I mean, I've never purchased a vision computer, but I'm sure there was a choice for the Intel processor. But every one that I've seen so far has been like these AMD A8s or something. A4s usually.
I will say that the top of the line AMD stuff is all right.
Yeah.
I have a Vashira 8 core, and it's about an i5 quad. It competes about with that.
All right. So just so everybody understands the math. All right. So you've got an 8-core processor, the top end for that socket.
Yeah.
And it almost competes with a quad-core mid-level processor for Intel.
Yeah.
So this is what I tell people all the time. It's just like they're like, well, what should I do? You should buy a different computer that has an Intel processor in it. Stay away from the AMDs because they're slow. They're so slow. Now, don't get me wrong. They have their places. Right? There are people that build sort of mid-range gamer boxes, which is kind of what you've got, right?
Yeah.
Mid-range gamer box, and the processors tie in very well with the AMD video cards. They work really well that way.
Yeah, I just put my money into the graphics card instead of the processor, basically.
Right, and the board, right?
Yeah.
Because AMD boards are super expensive, but the processors are super cheap. Whereas other way around on the Intel side, you got moderately priced boards and really expensive processors. I mean, Intel literally will sell you a $3,000 processor if you really want something high end.
Like an i7 12 core.
They're the Xeon Extremes.
Yeah.
So they're 16 core.
They're extreme.
They are hardcore processors, and they're designed to be chained, so you can put 2 or 4 or 8 of them on a board and have lots and lots of go. You don't want to do that, right? So, but people always ask me, Mike, what do you think what brand should I buy? And I tell people, don't buy by brand. We don't do that. And we like Lenovo's. Like there's 2 of them sitting on the desk in here right now. Mm-hmm. They're very durable machines if you don't buy the Yogas.
Yeah.
Right? If you buy just their business class machine, it's going to be Intel powered, it's going to have a decent amount of RAM, and it'll be nearly indestructible.
Yes.
And that's what I like about them.
I know that firsthand.
Yours is kind of beat up.
Well, I have a 6- and 7-year-old that play on it, so.
Yeah, so I like the Lenovo brand for the laptops, but I tell people not to buy by brand. You buy by budget. So if you're going to buy a laptop, you should spend no less than $600 and no more than $1,000 at most for your laptop. If you get something that's more expensive than that, then it's going to be one of those niche market, like this is a gamer laptop.
Ultrabook, yeah.
Or an Ultrabook, right? And you don't need that. Nobody in their right mind needs that. If you're going to need that much horsepower, you get a desktop. And when it comes to the desktops, you're going to be looking at a minimum of 500 and a maximum of 1,500 depending on your needs. So if you need something like, just if you're just checking email and getting on a couple of websites, maybe streaming some Netflix, you should be around the $500-$600 mark for a machine. But if you go any cheaper than that, you get the budget machines. You're like, I found this machine online and it was $212. You might as well take it out of the box, throw it in the trash, right? It's going to be a miserable experience, right? You're going to have a machine that is always too slow. It's going to be one of those AMD machines for sure, because there's no way you're going to get an Intel processor for under $500. And you're just going to be unhappy with it. So if you look at this, just like you look at everything else when it comes to things you purchase in your life, you must properly invest in the hardware, right? If you buy something that is disposable, then you have something that's disposable. And it's just no good. It's already obsolete if it's in that price range. And you're going to have nothing but problems with it. They use cheap hardware, processor is going to drop dead, or the power supply, or you're going to have not enough RAM, not enough processing power. You'll just be unhappy with the thing the whole time.
You'll be sad.
You should also invest in your car.
You should invest in your car. You know what you can do with that? And just like you do with your computer, right? We tell people, bring their computers down to us once, maybe twice a year, so we can do tune-ups on them. You should probably go down to Perfection Auto Works and get a tune-up on your car there. Summer's coming up, and you want to make sure that you have the right fluids and your belts are good and you're not leaking things all over the place, because I hate it when I leak things all over the place. So I want to make sure that you're not leaking things either. Go down to Perfection Auto Works, check out their website, perfectionautoworks.com, and listen to their ad coming up next, right here on the Computer Guru Show.
Whether you're dealing with hardware installation or, heaven forbid, a virus,
No!
Mike Swanson is answering all your questions one by one. So call in or chat in with yours. The website, gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030 KVOY The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show.
All right, let me adjust my headphone volume here so I can hear. Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike. So Microsoft.
Yeah.
They had some issues where maybe they just didn't like what was going on there with Windows 10, and people were they had come out with instructions on how to make the Cortana little assistant use Google instead of Bing for results.
Yep.
And then Microsoft apparently was like, oh no, we're not going to have that. And so they locked Cortana with an update to only use Bing. And like 15 minutes later, somebody figured out how to fix it so they can use Google again.
Even then, you say that they flawlessly locked it, uncrackable. All that would lead to is people not using Cortana anymore.
That's right.
Stop trying to make Bing happen.
Yeah, Bing is not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's unfortunate. Everybody that uses Bing does it by accident.
Literally the only reason why Bing has like a 10% market share is just brute force on Microsoft's part.
Because it came installed with Windows or with your device, and you don't know how to change it.
It's not like anybody was like, I'm going to actively use Bing instead of Google. They were like, oh, Bing, well, I'm already here.
Right. And if you type into Bing, how do I switch to Google? It says, we can't find results for that.
I can't let you do that.
It doesn't do that, really. Actually, you can find instructions on how to switch from Bing to Google in your search results. I suggest that people use it.
Well, it's like I've always said that Internet Explorer is the best tool for installing Chrome I've ever seen.
It definitely is. It's the first thing I type in either Safari or Internet Explorer, because I reinstalled my Mac.
Google.com/Chrome. That should just be the homepage for Internet Explorer.
I reinstalled the Mac this week, and then I launched Safari and typed in Google.com/Chrome. Downloaded it. It was the last time Safari was opened on that machine. It probably will be the last time ever that Safari is open on that computer.
Poor Safari.
I open Internet Explorer about once a week just to make sure that it doesn't make one of my websites look terrible, but that's about it.
And it does?
Not often.
No. All right. So what do you think of the Edge thing?
The Edge browser?
Yeah.
I use it on the Surface tablet that I have in the office a lot. It's not bad. I mean, it's all right. It's the one thing that annoyed me about it is that rather than just accept web standards that already existed, they like made their own again. I wish they would
thing
stop
that they
with
said that they were trying to fix.
Yeah, just integrate WebKit, call it a day.
You know what I don't like about the Edge thing is that it is one of those things that forces you into search. Not really, right? But there is no address bar unless you know exactly where to click.
Yeah.
All right, so in Edge, no address bar whatsoever to type into, unless you go and click where the address bar should be, and then it's like, oh, you must want the address bar, and then makes it appear again. And it's locking people into search results. That's Bing is making that happen. Stop it. Stop it. And Bing, it's a dumb name. It's not like Google was a great name either.
Yeah.
Right, when it first came out, Google was kind of like...
Google was successful in spite of their name.
In spite of the name, right. Because they had superior product. Right? It's like, we have this cool algorithm that actually gives you what you're looking for. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I understand that there's a certain privilege that I have to doing this as long as I have. Google searching is an art. It's one of those things where if you can get really good at Google searching, and that way you can just type in the one thing you know is going to give you accurate results, and suddenly all your results are valid. At least within the top 2 or 3 entries, you're going to get what you're looking for.
And in most cases, you don't even have to know how to solve a problem. You just have to know how to Google it.
Right. And Google's really good at the whole natural language search. If you ever want to prove how good Google is at something, right, as far as searching things that you don't even know what you're searching for, type in something like that guy in that one movie who did, and then you put in something.
The famous comedian with the eyebrows or something.
Right. It will find it, and it's really good at it. Just playing with Google search is actually kind of fun.
Have you ever seen those videos, If Google Was a Guy?
Yeah.
They've got like 4 of them now. And it's so true of how people type into Google versus how you would talk to somebody with ask a question.
Right.
Do you remember when Ask Jeeves was supposed to do that?
And I had a lot of hope for Ask Jeeves.
Let's pour out a drink for our fallen browser friends.
That's right. I remember.
Just ask now.
Well,
yeah, I know.
We started with the ask thing.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's take a call here. Let's talk to Robin. By the way, if you want to be part of the show, 790-2040. That's 520-790-2040. Hello, Robin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Lovely.
Good. Well, my Verizon contract will be running out in a few months, thank goodness.
Right.
And I'm looking now for your suggestion on the next best service provider for unlimited data.
There's sort of no such thing.
Yeah, I was afraid of, but thought I'd ask.
But the Cricket stuff is pretty decent.
Okay.
All right. At the very least with Cricket, even though there's a reason they have armed security guards in the lobby of all the Cricket stores.
Right.
Pay online.
Yeah, pay online. Don't go to the store.
Right.
They offer a service that, first of all, runs on Verizon towers, so you get decent coverage.
Oh, okay.
And there pretty much no surprises, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like buying a Kia.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know exactly what you're going to pay for it, and and even though they do this whole data throttling thing, right? So you get like 4G up to a point, and then it's 3G after that, and then it's pray that your email comes through on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
They are the best alternative.
Great.
To Verizon in that particular case.
Yeah, I have Cricket right now actually, and I will say that you're absolutely right with what you see is what you get. Basically, I've never had any surprises on my bill, nothing like that. And the data is not it's not bad. It's fast enough.
So Cricket's your recommendation.
Yeah, well,
if you really need unlimited,
right? So I mean, what are you using your phone for that you need that much data?
Well,
Keep in mind,
I only have
2
gigs. I'm really careful with it. I use Wi-Fi on most of, but I got the latest $15 overcharge for 0.02 over, and I was livid. So I'm done. I just don't want to deal with it anymore. And I guess I do a lot of videos and watching online.
All right. So there's a couple of different things you can look at. I know. Just from recent experience, I was in the Verizon store last week, because we manage a bunch of Verizon accounts for our customers because they don't want to talk to Verizon, and Verizon definitely doesn't want to talk to me. So there's So it's a win-win situation for everybody but me. So anyway, they have a bunch of different plans that now have higher data caps that are, in many cases, cheaper than the grandfathered plan that you're in. That, of course, they're not going to tell you about them because they're happy to keep charging you those overages.
Oh, yeah.
So you might want to look at the current plans that are available. And you can, as always, if you buy phones like I do, you can stay out of your contract just by buying the phone or just changing the plan and staying in the phone that you're in. So you can avoid that if you want.
And I understand that the phones are unlocked and you can switch them over to any provider.
Any provider that's on the same frequency.
And that would be Cricket?
Cricket now is one of those, yes.
Okay, great.
And as a person who uses a huge amount of data, because I had them look it up while I was in there last week, my data usage for last month was 67 gigabytes.
Oh, my God.
So they definitely want me off of that unlimited plan.
Oh, yeah.
But your only real option is to pick a data plan that will work for the amount of data you intend to use, and then kind of stick with it for that.
Okay.
But look into the other plans, because they were doing like 20 and 40 gig plans for like $80 a month. So
Oh, okay.
So I would look into that rather than uprooting your whole world first.
Right.
And then,
Yeah, this will be in December, so by then who knows what changes will be in store and things. So I'll check that out first.
I have to say, at least locally, that even though the commercials look good, and in practice, like T-Mobile and Sprint and everything that's on that particular frequency are terrible.
I haven't heard
just in my
anything good.
experience.
I can vouch.
Because you get the every other word plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Sprint.
Where you only hear every other word.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, not to, slander them or anything. It's just that I have not had any good experience in any way at all, or even heard of a decent experience with either Sprint or T-Mobile or AT&T.
Great. Well, I thank you for your help.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Bye-bye.
Time to take another break.
Sounds
If
good.
you have questions, give us a call, 790-2040. We'll be right back.
Your computer guru, Mike Swanson, is here to help you tame that beast of a machine. Join the chat right now at gurushow.com or call in. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOY, The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOI, The Voice.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about gadgets. We got 3 of them in mind here. We're going to start with the pocket-sized Large Hadron Collider.
Isn't that like a small Hadron Collider?
No, the Large Hadron Collider decided that it couldn't work anymore due to a rodent.
Poor little guy.
Weasel.
Which is a rodent.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm just being more specific.
Well, that
it
weasel,
wasn't a rat.
It weaseled
or
its way
hamster
into
or a
Large
bunny
Hadron.
rabbit.
Weasels its way into the Large Hadron Collider
and got Large Hadron Collided.
and got very much electrocuted.
It thought electric wires were non-malicious.
Non-malicious.
Needed the rid of weasel.
It needed rid of rat from from the Perfection Auto Works. They put little strobe lights in all over.
That was the most expensive pest control of all time.
That's right. Science has crawled to a stop due to rodents chewing on wires and becoming vaporized, as far as I know, in the electronics.
Did they gather any data from its molecules, though?
They probably will now.
All their science is tainted now. It just goes to show. Bugs in the system, or in this case rodents, or you just can't keep them out, no matter how well you design it.
When it went offline, did one of the scientists say, "I smell a rat"?
Oh my god!
Yeah, couldn't resist that one.
Oh, that was awesome. Okay. So the next gadget,
Seriously, guys?
which I thought was pretty cool, was gloves that translate sign language.
Yes.
Invented by some students. Students aren't just. All right, I'm
Yeah,
not even gonna go there.
don't.
So these are worn by the people doing the sign language, right?
Yes.
And then it detects their.
Right,
Movement.
and then basically says what.
So they're like speakers in the gloves?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool. I mean, with all of the sort of high precision accelerometers we have these days and small computing platforms, if that is pretty nifty to be able to take hand gestures. And I have a question. And if somebody is out there that knows sign language, maybe they can answer this, because I don't. I mean, I took sign language in high school, but I never thought to ask this question, which is, if someone has a different dominant hand, do they speak backwards? Like are the hand gestures backwards?
I don't believe so.
Oh, you mean like, okay, I
So-
see what you're saying.
so-
So if they're left-handed, they have to do it
Right.
the opposite, like mirrored.
Right.
I think if they're left-handed, they have to learn the right-handed way like most poor left-handers do. I think that's just how it is.
My grandmother, right, made it so I had to eat with my right hand and write with my right hand when I was a kid. I feel the pain of these left-handed sign language people.
Yeah, my son is left-handed, and he's having to learn cursive right now. Real fun for him.
This is oppression on a huge scale.
You drag your hand across the page, and then there's
It's all
just
smeared,
pencil
yeah.
smears everywhere.
Yeah, that's why we hold the paper wrong.
There's a left-hander's
Yep,
day,
you're
though.
just holding it wrong. Put it in your right hand like a normal person.
There you go.
Stop it. Quit it, Rob.
There's a reason it's called the right hand, I'm just saying.
Wow.
You are... Wow, dude. Okay. So, and then Google has apparently patented something that we don't know anything about.
I don't care. I'm excited.
Google has patented a device that is injected straight into your eyeball.
Sounds cool.
We don't know what it is yet,
X-ray vision, laser vision.
but the conjecture, the speculation, is that it's some type of vision augmentation device. So
to improve it.
if you're ridiculously blind, like Tara,
Yep.
because
I volunteer as tribute.
so a couple of weeks ago she was like handing her glasses around and was just like, "Hey, look through my glasses," and I think that near everyone in the studio was having like a seizure.
I think I gave everyone an aneurysm.
Yeah, I had like instant vertigo. I felt like I was going to throw up
Well,
just putting them on.
my normal glasses, they're 1/4 of an inch thick, and those are the lightweight lenses. My sunglasses are about a 1/2 inch thick, almost.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I'm pretty blind.
You need this Google injection
I
device.
need it. Yeah, that's what I don't even care. If it can help even a little bit, that'd be so awesome.
I'm all for it because I just want an internet browser in my eyeball.
Like, I've never had 2 years. That's why I can't get LASIK either. I've never had 2 years where my prescription is exactly the same. And I have
Is that a
astigmatism.
prerequisite for?
Yeah, you have to. Well, in the military it was. I don't know about civilians, but in the military they want you to have 2 consecutive years where your prescription is pretty much the same. Never had it. My eyes have just been getting worse my entire life.
See, I have 2015 problems, so I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But
Well, it sounds like she has like 2010 vision.
no,
It's 20,
It's gotta be like-
280 and 270 something.
I didn't even know that they could have 3 digits.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty blind.
wow.
Well,
Okay,
Go get injected by Google.
well, let's talk to callers then. Let's talk to Tom. Can you see that Tom's on there?
Barely. It's I see like it's like
It's
blurry. It's only
Hey, are you there?
I'm here, Tom. How can I help you?
I'm good. I've got malware antivirus, and I keep getting a pop-up now that says your free edition has ended, or subscription ended. Upgrade now to, and I don't want that. How do I get rid of that pop-up?
All right, so let's get some detail on what you're talking about. You're talking about malware bytes,
Yeah.
and you're saying the suggested method for getting rid of that is to pay for it.
It's worth
Just
it.
because malware bytes is awesome, and it's what you should have on your computer, according to Computer Guru. But if you don't want it, you can just uninstall it from the control panel.
Okay, so you're recommending paying for the paid edition?
Of malware bytes, yes, absolutely,
Okay, I appreciate your help. Thank you very much.
no problem. Thanks for the call,
Take
Tom.
care.
Follow-up question real quick.
Yeah.
Is there a way to have the free version but not get the pop-ups?
Yes, which is to just tell it I'm not going to get the paid version, and it'll revert to the trial, or not the trial version, but the basic version. But the basic version doesn't offer you any of the protections that the paid one does, which is the whole point of why we tell people to get the paid one, because those active protections are way more important.
It's kind of an after
Right, it's
after protection.
Yeah, you can run this after you notice that your computer's all jacked up, or
So it doesn't prevent anything when it's free.
yeah, it's not preventative when it's in its free mode. So, All right, let's talk to Robert. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Yeah, that pop-up will never go away on the free version. They're in it for the money.
There's a way to turn that off, actually.
You got to drill down deep.
Well, I guess that there is some incentive to have them. However, it's one of those products, and it's one of the only products that we tell people to pay for.
Yeah, it's
It's
that
well
good.
worth the money. It's well worth the money.
Excellent. How can I help you?
With the free version, I never got any alerts. With the premium version, I got alerts.
Right. If you do the
Okay.
trial and then you let it expire, then it bothers you all the time.
This is such a tiny irritant. When I turn on my computer with Windows 10, it insists on showing me a piece of art
Oh,
or a photo.
yeah. You can turn that off too.
How do you turn it? It says, do you like what you see? And if you say no, it'll switch it to a new photo.
So
How about this one?
Let's talk about first. Let's get some clarification. Is this on the lock screen or is this on the desktop?
Desktop.
Okay. Part of that's in the theming of the desktop. But there's another setting, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll actually have to look this one up after the show because my laptop is still 7. But at home, I turned this feature off because it was bothering me. It was like, don't you go trying to control my background. There's a setting in there where you can tell it that you want to know more about fun things that Microsoft thinks are cool. And it's just a little slider box that you can turn off, and all of that stuff stops.
How should I start about drilling?
Go to the. Hold on. Tara's like driving around on her. She's got a Windows 10 laptop here, so it's.
If it's so obscure, you don't have to answer it. In the meantime, does it help to run a second free antivirus, thinking that perhaps Avast didn't catch everything?
You can't run 2 antiviruses effectively together.
Okay, so dump Avast, reload anything. Does it do any good?
The
Then go back to Avast.
Avast isn't terrible. I mean, it's really your preference. What we really care about is Malwarebytes and any antivirus that is primarily an antivirus. All right, that's why we don't like McAfee or Norton or ESET or even Kaspersky. Right, and believe me, they're all decent products. Well, with the exception of McAfee. I mean, Norton is good at catching viruses, but it's so just damaging to the performance of the machine. We can't, in good conscience, say put that on there. Same thing for Kaspersky in that case. Great antivirus, but it's a terrible program. So we like to see just sort of a basic antivirus that does antivirus in conjunction with Malwarebytes. So it's your choice after that. The ones that we can list off the top of our head are Avast, Avira, Panda. Now, you should call the shop. They have a whole list.
Is there a chance that if I unload Avast and run Avira, it will find viruses that Avast did not catch?
It may catch a different definition of the same virus, but it is highly unlikely that it'll find things that the other one missed.
Okay.
And here's the thing, is that I am highly suspect if something finds something that everything else didn't. Right. Because there's a certain, at some point, somebody's lying. Now, luckily, all of the antivirus companies have this agreement that they share data between one another. All right, so there's this agreement, and it's run by Norton, of all places, where all of the antivirus companies contribute to a singular database. Now, they may have a different name for that virus in their own particular database, but all research is shared between all of the major antivirus companies.
Good.
So if one finds something the others don't, it raises an eyebrow for me.
That's all I need to hear.
Excellent. Well, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Oh, did we decide how to get rid of that dopey picture?
I'm gonna have to. Do you see like our social media stuff, like Facebook or the Guru Show page or anything like that, or YouTube account?
No.
You don't? Well, I will put up the answer on how to get rid of that on the socials. So you're gonna have to go look at them, just because that's where I'm gonna post them.
Okay.
And I will find that out later today and put it up this evening.
You're a good man.
All right. Thanks for the
Talk to
call,
you later.
Robert. So if you're on hold, stay on hold. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we'll answer your questions at 790-2040. Be right back.
Computer troubles? Need some advice? Call in now. Mike Swanson will be back after these messages. The Computer Guru Show, AM 1030, KVOY, The Voice. Guru Mike Swanson is answering all your questions one by one.
Yes, science!
So chime in with yours. The website is gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show.
Welcome back. Time to take some more phone calls. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. Let's start with Bill. Hello, Bill. How are you?
Hi, good, Mike. How are you?
Lovely. What can I do for you?
Regarding the malware, I heard this caller before last, and I got the malware.
Malware
one.
bytes? Yeah.
Yeah, malware bytes. And
because having the malware and having the malware bytes are two totally different things.
If you have the malware, you should get malware bytes.
Okay, you got me. Anyway, it was referring to the past call that was calling malware bytes, so I was being concise. Anyway, the paid version, I got a notice several weeks back from them telling everybody that they'd stopped somebody's ransomware. They blocked it.
Right.
And then they said that in my version, they kept it from executing. And then I guess there's another version that's more expensive, and then they said that one they stopped from even getting in. So my question to you is there any reason for me to consider paying more money to them than I'm
I don't think so. I mean, they do have a separate product called the Malwarebytes Anti-Exploit, and it's specifically designed to deal with exploitation of the operating system like malware or like ransomware. So it's a very sort of specialized product specifically for that type of thing. And I think that in a residential case, if you have backups, that it's not necessary to pay them for that. I'm thinking that Malwarebytes by itself, or in conjunction with an antivirus and proper backup regimen, is enough.
Okay, is a RAID hard drives enough of a backup in your?
Nope, because in this case, if you end up with like some type of a ransomware, right, it's going to just change all of the files. It's going to encrypt all the files on the machine, and the RAID's not going to. It's not going to allow you to fall back.
Right.
So you need some type of external backup, right?
Right. I'm not arguing. I'm just because they said they blocked it. They got into my type of software.
Yeah, and that's mostly the case. The problem is that with the Malwarebytes stuff, is that they know that they're not going to be able to catch all of these before they happen, right? Okay. So like they have to, new exploits show up in the world all the time, lots of them. Okay. I can't even imagine that there's a lot of those that show up every day. So they have to play this catch-up game. Every day they're seeing these new exploitations, they're seeing new infections, and they have to come up with a solution to those, update their databases, and then push that out to everyone in the world. And during that time, you're going to have the potential, that you're vulnerable to those until you get the update. The thing about their anti-exploit scanner, the other product that they're having, is it's behavior-based rather than definition-based. Okay. So what it's looking at is how is this program behaving, and based on its behavior, stopping it before it can do anything. So it is a valid product, and it's very useful for people that either A, don't have any backups, or B, are businesses where they have huge amounts of data that it's either not cost effective to deal with as far as time is concerned, or any of that. But in your case, like as a residential client, all right, you are going to be looking at just Malwarebytes and have a good backup, and that's all you need.
Okay, is the behavioral one cause any problems as far as overhead or do another?
I mean, it's running, so it does have a slight amount of overhead, but most of the Malwarebytes products are pretty light. Anti-exploit is very light, so it's not going to drag the machine down.
Super, and finally, I noticed...
I'm kind of out of time here, so
okay, so when you come back, would you say something about why you don't recommend super anti-spyware anymore? Because I've got that.
That's a quick one, because it's crap. So just uninstall it.
well, wait a minute. You told me to put the crap on the
No. I have not
No,
recommended.
not you personally.
I have not recommended super anti-spyware in years. But it is a useful tool for just scanning, but I don't like it on the machine as a permanent install.
Okay. But anyway, thanks anyway. I'm not accusing you of wrongdoing. I love what you tell us and the help you've given me over the years. Thanks very much. Bye.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Let's move on to Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Hey, thanks for your show. And so is today the last day to upgrade from Windows 7 to 10?
No, it is not. And the official Microsoft deadline is actually in June. But we're telling people to do it much, much sooner. You should start considering doing that now.
Okay,
And
I am. It's just today's inconvenient.
Reason being is that we want you to have the ability to upgrade and then solve any problems that you may have before you reach the we are no longer supporting Windows 7 section of the world here. So this is a good time to get that upgrade done, deal with any problems, and have the ability to revert back so that you can then try again later.
Okay, and it's possible to revert back without
You have 30 days.
issues. Within 30 days.
Within 30 days, you can revert back.
And typically, you don't see problems going from 7 to 10, do you?
Usually not. I mean, there are some minor issues. As with everything, there's always sort of a minor issue. But I've only seen a couple of sort of major catastrophes during the upgrade. And considering the number of these that we've done, it's a really low percentage.
Are there any good instructions on the website? I've been looking for instructions.
Now, the only real instructions that we have is uninstall your antivirus and uninstall any NVIDIA software, except for drivers. So if you have the NVIDIA Experience, which seems to just blow up during every upgrade that we see, you want to uninstall that type of thing. So non-essential software, the utility-based software, like CCleaner, any of that stuff that is not that serves sort of a utilitarian purpose, I would uninstall for the upgrade.
We'll have paid version of Malwarebytes.
You can leave that. That's fine. It survives.
Okay, and something else. I can't remember if it's Avast for some reason.
Well, antivirus is okay to have on the machine after, but I don't like it during the install.
Okay.
So uninstall it.
It's pretty easy to uninstall that then.
Oh, yeah. Go to the control
Just
panel.
go through the normal uninstall process.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot.
Appreciate the call, Mark.
Okay.
So once again, I want to take an opportunity to mention our sponsors. We're going to do it backwards today.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Patreon sponsors. We have one Patreon sponsor in particular who decided that they wanted to pay us a little bit extra money on Patreon, which you can donate on Patreon too. It's as little as $1 a month to help us pay for the overhead of this show. Because believe it or not, we buy the time. We're doing this not because somebody's paying us, but because we want to give an opportunity or have an opportunity to help you. One of those is
Desert Pro Commercial Cleaning LLC, the best Tucson janitorial services, and you can find them at TucsonDesertPro.com.
And if you want to check out an example of their work, go over to our East Side location, 64 North Harrison, and you can check out how clean and sparkly the place is. It's very sparkly.
It is.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And, you too can get them to help clean up for you. Also, their Perfection Auto Works, we'll mention them again because they give us money to help put the show on, and you should thank them by going and checking them out and saying that you heard of them through the Computer Guru Show. Come visit us at either of our shops or give us a call at 304-8300. We're here for you. See you next week.